Hello! I felt like doing a vlog today instead of a podcast. You could still totally just listen to this. Don't worry about it. It's just not as easy as the podcasts are. But yeah, feel free to just listen to this. But today, I just felt like doing something visual because I'm in a great mood. I had two awesome conversations with people today, like one about like my branding and marketing, and as well as like the longevity, like financial wise about QG, and the other one was just like from my network, and it was super like just a boost in morale. They were just both super great calls about my biggest passion today, and I'm in a good mood, and I thought I'd reward everybody with my face today for this podcast, which is it's not exactly a podcast, so I apologize to people that just want this going on in the background of their phone without it being on. Maybe there's a way that it could still happen, but feel free to still just listen to this. Like, it's fine. But I thought for today's podcast, I have a little visual representation of requests, because today's going to be a request day because there's so many of these, and honestly, I'm going to save some of these for our next Patreon live stream, to which I should have made a graphic of this. It's going to be April 16th at 11 a.m. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I did post it this morning if I'm wrong, so refer to that. But yeah, I hope you can make it to the Patreon live stream, because I'm going to address probably the rest of these requests during that stream, because I want to get new ones where we are not just flooding the requests. So yeah, but today we're going to hit frickin' 5. So without further ado, let's get started. First one, I believe, comes from Mr. Renato. He asked, what are your thoughts about X-Men becoming a part of the Marvel Studios? I'm trying to move myself. Yeah, so X-Men specifically, I'll keep it at that, because I gotta have an entire podcast about the whole Fox and Disney merger, because that's really the big picture. But if you were to ask me specifically about X-Men becoming part of Marvel Studios, that's gonna happen after this Dark Phoenix movie. That's gonna happen after this Dark Phoenix movie, and like that's been confirmed. Like this Dark Phoenix is the last movie that like is a Fox X-Men thing, and then after this point, as well as New Mutants, I think they're gonna be part of the MCU. But we won't see that for quite some time, probably. Kevin Feige has confirmed that. Like, even though we now have them back, we're probably not gonna see it for quite some time. So honestly, X-Men becoming part of the MCU, I don't know. I'm going to be very curious to see how they wiggle it in, especially Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman said the only way I would come back is if I could be part of an Avengers movie. It could happen. But I don't know. We'll see. That might be a far stretch. Even if it was just a cameo, oh, I'd be so excited. But anyway. But yeah, I don't have too much thoughts about the X-Men becoming part of the MCU. I'm just curious to see how they wiggle it in, especially with like some continuity stuff that they had to address in Age of Ultron regarding that. But I'm not too excited about X-Men. I'm more excited for Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four being a part of Marvel Studios, that is what I'm super excited about, because there's been great X-Men movies, but not a great Fantastic Four movie. And more than just them being a part of the MCU, it's like Spider-Man. I didn't need to see him be in the MCU. I just wanted to see a Marvel Studios produced Spider-Man movie, and I got that with Homecoming. I want to see a Marvel Studios produced Fantastic Four movie. X-Men, I think they have plenty of good movies. So that's what I'll say about that. This next one comes from our boy in red, Mr. Mercury. I don't know why I said red. Who asked, can I pull this up? There we go. And of course this comes from Mercury. Is there any genre of anime that is too far in your I'm assuming did I put this in wrong? Personal morality? Is there a person? Oh yeah, I misspelled that. That was my bad. It's personal morality. Okay, so is there any genre of anime that is too far in your personal morality that you would completely avoid it? Like step-sibling relations in Domestic Girlfriend, as an example. And of course, you bring up Domestic Girlfriend, of course. I'm gonna do that. That's an interesting question. I mean, it doesn't attract me. It just doesn't. Would I avoid the show for those reasons? no, I wouldn't avoid the show, but there's a difference between avoiding a show and not being interested in it. You know, like if somebody tells me that, dude, this show is full of girls showing their boobs and like hot ass woman or whatever, that's not gonna make me want to see the show. Is it gonna make me avoid it? No, but it's just not drawing me to it either. So what, somebody could debate what's the difference then, but it's just like avoiding is when it has something that you purposely like don't want to go to it for. Like that's what avoiding means, is when it has something that you just don't want to be a part of whatsoever. And in that aspect, no, I don't think there is a genre that just is too far for my personal morality, but it just doesn't entice me, you know, like Domestic Girlfriend with the whole step sibling relationships and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that just doesn't attract me, you know, like it doesn't attract me. I don't know. This answer is coming out in a jumbled mess because I honestly don't know. Like, I've never thought about this, and if I gave it more thought, I tried to give it a little bit of thought before this, but I was like, I can't think of an answer to this question because it just doesn't attract me. That's the nutshell. It just doesn't attract me when there's things like that. If a show's got spicy hot woman or lots of blood, it's like, that's not what will attract me to a show. And that's the phrase I'm gonna use more, is it doesn't attract me to the show. I'll answer the question like, well, then what makes you avoid a show? What makes you avoid a show? Art style, really, like art style. That's just, it doesn't make me avoid the show, but art style is definitely something that is my first like, nah, or kind of a reaction. Like JoJo has an art style that is just buff men showing themselves off, and it just was not attractive to me whatsoever. But then I watched a few episodes and I was like, the show's actually pretty good. I should have a podcast about that at some point. But just art style is the thing that makes me like get attracted or avoid a show, I guess. But morality stuff, it doesn't draw me. That's what I'll say to this. It doesn't draw me, nor does it make me avoid. It's just that it doesn't make me, you know, when something's spicy, it doesn't make me go, damn, I need to watch that. Like, no. What does draw me is like cool action or a beautiful art style, or damn, this has some great music, or a plot that's not having to do with, you know, scandalous things. I don't know, but this came out like covered in duct tape. That question came out covered in duct tape. I apologize, Mercury. That's the best I could answer. I don't know how else to answer. Maybe you could rephrase it, but that's all I could think of. This next one I think comes from Bunnyworth. Bunnyworth, she asked, is there any martial arts you would like to learn? All of them. All of them. No, I don't have a specific martial arts I would love to learn. I've practiced Kempo. I took a little bit of I forgot what the name of it was, but it specialized in kind of like staff play, you know, like I don't know how to impersonate or describe it. I used to take karate, but like if there's a specific martial arts I'd want to be a part of, I can't think of one in particular. What I would love though is just I guess sword play. Either sword or staff play. Like, I don't necessarily need fist fighting. I would love to know exactly how to swing around a weapon and make it look so beautiful, like a thing of art. Like, you've seen those guys like with the giant staff poles, whatever, and they twirl them around like it's just like nothing. I'm just like, what? I would love to learn that stuff. Like, I think that would be cool. But honestly, just all martial arts in general. So that's a very quick answer. Next one, I think this is also from Bunnyworth. If you were a character in My Hero Academia, sorry, I missed a comma. Sorry. If you were a character in My Hero Academia, what would be your powers? What class would you like to be in? And what is your superhero name? The superhero name is Kibaji. like Samurai Kibaji, of course. I would just basically want to be the thing that I already, you know, envisioned Kibaji to be, which is a samurai, and just, yeah. But let me try to give a little bit of a more spin on it though, like a superhero version. Okay, so if you were a character in My Hero Academia, what would be your powers? My powers, I would like it to be lightning, personally. And specifically lightning. There's a difference between lightning and electricity. Like, I forget what his name is, but the blonde spiky haired dude. I would want it to specifically be lightning because that is a fear of mine. Thunder and lightning, I would want that to be my power because it's like Batman, you know, he became Batman because that is the thing he feared most. And he conquers his fear by becoming it. So, I would like to do that same thing, you know, like just have the ability to control lightning, and who knows, maybe I can bend that into other ways of really hardcore control of my quirk, like being able to move as fast as it or something like that. But just control over thunder and lightning in some way. I think that would be dope. And I'd love to be able to like have certain gadgets that helps me channel it, you know, whether it's like staffs, or I probably wouldn't want to use swords if I was a hero, you know, but just something like to channel it. I would like to hold a weapon or something like that would help me, or maybe it's just through fists, you know, like I have these like gauntlets that help me channel them. And what class would you like to be in? Oh, wherever Mina is at. Literally just Mina Ashido, wherever she is, that is where I would like to be, because she is best girl. Froppy is not. but yeah, just class 1A, you know, that'd be cool. But it would also be neat to be a rival to them. Yeah, I'll say I'll be part of class, like a rival class to 1A, because then I won't be in the same class as Mina, and then we won't like, we could also be okay, anyways. And my superhero name, let's think of something more than just like Samurai Kibaji. Even though I like the name Kibaji, I think I've always thought of the name Tensha, to which I think Tensha, I could be totally wrong. I think Tensha has something to do with like a train, like an unstoppable train or something. So I thought of like the lightning train or something. That sounds really cheesy, but lightning train might be one, like lightning Tensha, you know, but I would just like Kibaji, you know, by day, Kibaji. So that's my answer to that question. And then the final one here that I'll get into is Mr. Manuel, who asked, quickest answer here, Radwimps or Overworld? Overworld. No flipping question about it. I'm not saying Overworld is better. I'm saying I like Overworld on a personal level hella a lot more than Radwimps. and that's only because I only know Radwimps from your name. And I don't think it's, and I hope that anybody that is a fan of Radwimps isn't just a fan of them because of your name. I hope they've spent some time looking into other stuff they've done than just your name, as well as like them being involved in anime movies or whatever. But Overworld, on the other hand, I first discovered them through Bleach, and I've heard them in tons of multiple like anime openings and closings. But I also listen to them on the side. Like, I'm just a way bigger fan of Overworld. I'm not just a fan of them off of one thing. I've listened to a shit ton of their stuff, and Overworld is where it's at, man. They're like, that is probably my favorite. Like, if you ask me like, who's your favorite band or artist that's been in like an anime opening or closing? Oh, I'd say Overworld. Overworld, absolutely. So, yeah. So that's my answers to your questions. I hope you enjoyed seeing my personal face as I talked about this today. And I'll be back in a podcast tomorrow. I'm not sure about what, but yeah, I appreciate you. I don't know why I'm showing my teeth, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Truly, truly, truly. And I'll catch you on the flip side.